Broadcasting live from the ESPN Radio Winchester studios. Talking through life, struggles, and whatever's weighing on you. It's time for Therapy Thursday on Franklin County's favorite morning show. The starting lineup, fueled by Loco Coffee. And now for your hosts, Joe Abraham and Chewy.
And good morning and welcome into a Therapy Thursday here on the starting lineup, fueled by Loco Coffee. This is ESPN Radio 1340 1069 WCDT Winchester. I am Joe Abraham, and in studio with me this morning, whether he likes it or not, the legend of Franklin County. The Wookiee himself, the board lord. He is Chewy.
Good morning, Joe Abraham. How are you, my friend?
I am. I'm better now that we're hanging out, buddy.
That sounded so ominous. All right. Well, I'm also glad to be around here, Joe Abraham. You've got some exciting stuff planned for today. Today's gonna be a busy day for the whole county.
Goodness gracious.
Brett Crabtree has also jumped in already, along with Lambeau.
Good morning, guys. So yeah, today I have been both looking forward to and dreading today all week long because it is there is so much stuff stacked, and for me, I've even got one little more thing. I've got to go help with field day over at Clark. I think they've got me running the tug of war, which is on brand. But no, I with our church helps with the field day over there, and so I'm going to go do that. That's at like noon. But then I've got to bust out of there real quick because I got to go run over to the Tennessee 250 because I want to set up our tent and stuff like that out there. It's also raining, so there's that. And then right at like 4:00, I've got a meeting. So I've got to flip back around and run over to that meeting. And then right after that, I've got to go back to Franklin County High School because the Rebelettes are supposed to be taking on Tullahoma tonight. Again, pending the weather in a district game, Chewy, that will determine who goes on to play Lawrence County for the district championship. And why that's really, really interesting is because we talked at length about the curse, the Tullahoma curse, that all of you normies don't know what the curse is about. I know because I figured it out.
Okay.
And I think I've reversed the curse.
Oh, all right.
And Tullahoma, proof and concept, the baseball team ended Tullahoma's baseball season like over the weekend, this past weekend, and we moved on to region and sent them home.
Dang.
So it was the first time we beat them in the last 9 times we played. The girls have lost 10 straight, Chewy, in softball to Tullahoma, dating back to April of 2021.
Wow.
Most of these girls weren't even, well, I don't think any of the girls were in high school yet. Most of them probably were still like 7th grade, something like that. 6th grade. Because we only have 2 seniors on the team.
Wow. Brett Crabtree says he was going to hang out, but he can't watch you looking at that garbage. I think he's talking about your shirt. Kevin Simmons jumped in saying good morning, everyone. Good morning, Kevin. Andrew jumped in saying, hey, guys. Hey, Andrew. Christopher Lambert also said Saturday Family Community Day at the Bass Club. Go Hokies on site. with the best smash burgers in FC. And then Miss Stacy jumped in this morning saying good morning. Good morning, Miss Stacy.
Good morning to all of you. Brett, if you don't like it, you can listen on the stream on the smartphone app, which I encourage people to download. Every challenge is just an opportunity, Chewy.
Yeah. Well,
Brett wants to shoot down that he doesn't want to watch us on it, so it'll give me the opportunity to promote our WCDT smartphone app, which you can download in your Apple iTunes or Google Play Store.
You can also listen to us on Alexa.
You can do that too.
Enable the WCDT skill on your Alexa.
Yeah, you got to tell her to enable a skill, and just be careful with those things. They're always listening, right?
Right.
But Chewy, speaking of the weather, because there is a lot going on today. What is the weather looking like today?
Well, we got about 30% chance of rain and showers this morning.
Yeah.
But it says cloudy but gradually clearing towards the afternoon.
Okay.
So hopefully by the time everything gets started, it'll clear up.
Let me ask people this, because I don't even know. Is it like super wet everywhere? Because it rained a lot.
It's a little mushy.
Yeah, our parking lot was like flooded yesterday when I left out of here. I will also say this. So we needed rain so badly.
Mm-hmm.
I opened up the door this morning to take the dog out, and my backyard overnight transformed into like a jungle.
Oh, wow.
And I was texting you yesterday. I watched with the kids. I watched the new Anaconda movie.
Yeah.
And it's like a spoofy. It's not really a kids movie. I thought it was supposed to be silly. It was not really that, but I mean it was a little bit. But it's not what I expected. I don't know what I expected. The first Anaconda wasn't very good. Anyway, the point is, it felt like I stepped into that movie. I walked out on my back porch this morning, and our backyard needed rain so much, it felt like all of the sudden, all the things on the fringes, like the trees and the little bushes and all that type of stuff that were like starving for rain and water, it felt like they just whoom, and attacked it, because they're good now. I feel like they're about to take the house. They're coming in on me.
Brett Crabtree also said, but then I can't talk trash in here. It's quite the dilemma. So that's why he's not moving
Okay.
over.
Again, every challenge presents an opportunity. Because I'm wearing my Alabama little hoodie thing, now you feel motivated to talk even more trash. So there you go. You can call me short and do all the things all show long and not even feel bad about it. Don't hold back.
Oh, okay.
Not you.
Oh, okay. Sorry. I was about to say, I was like, oh, well, glad I got the green light.
It is.
You ready?
It is a Therapy Thursday here on the starting lineup. And, Chewy, I encourage people to get involved in the show. I posted over on the Facebook page about 30 minutes ago some information about like what we're doing today on the show from a Therapy Thursday standpoint. But we got a few things that we got to get into before we do that. First and foremost, what I wanted to mention is, and you can also get into the show, get involved in the show. You can call into the show, 931-967-3500. You can text the show, 931-305-5611. I'm dragging a little bit, Chewy, this morning.
Really?
Yeah. And
Did you sleep well?
No, I did sleep very well, thanks to Katie. She's got these new
Yes.
she's got these new gummies, sleepy time gummies. But no, not that kind of gummies.
Right.
Not like the CBD gummies or that type of thing.
Yeah, she told me about this. I want to get a hold of some of these.
Okay, I can't do like any of that, the CBD stuff. It just messes with me on a whole different level. Sends me back to the universe that I'm from. So these are actually like sleep gummies that have all of these like melatonin and no, is that it?
Well, I don't know if it's got melatonin. It might,
I don't know.
but it's got a cocktail of a lot of these like relaxation chemicals.
Yeah. And so she gave me some of these, and so I slept like a rock. And she's taken. So Katie's one of these people who she suffers from like the high stress, anxiety. Chewy's very similar. It's hard for me to slow down. We all kind of It's bad around here sometimes. But she so she has a hard time like calming her mind at night, and these things have made her just out like a light. In fact, she gave me a pouch of them, and it's just like a handful of little gummies. Again, nothing nefarious in them or anything like that. And so she's like, "Oh yeah, you should try them. I've been sleeping like a rock with these things." And they say on them, take them like an hour before you're gonna go to bed. So I take them as I'm working on my computer. I'm laying there in bed, and she takes them, and we put the kids to bed, and we lay down, and she's playing on her phone. And next thing I know, it's like 9:30. Next thing I know, she's laying next to me, like snoring. I mean, out hard. And so I'm working away. Well, Chewy, I got to show you what I worked on last night. Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah. The website. I'm very excited. Why is Farrah calling me? Hold on.
He's got lots of cool stuff headed up on our way. I am curious to know what it might be.
There's been a water main break at Farrah.
Oh boy.
They're doing a virtual day.
Okay.
Oh boy. All right, I'm gonna have to text that to Katie. Interesting.
What happened? Water break?
Farrah had a water main break at the
boy.
school, so
That's
the school shut down.
Oh gosh, so they're doing virtual day. They
Yeah.
said. Okay.
Anyway, all right. So I'll have to text her that in the break. Don't let me forget. Hopefully she's listening. So
You did something amazing.
so I was working on something, but you know me, I get in the zone, right, and I can't stop. I look down at it's like 11:30 at night, and I'm still working away. Katie's still snoring away, and so this morning, I woke up barely. I'm like, I'm still, and two with the weather, it's one of these days. Like I can't when it's rainy and cloudy like this. You just want to lay in bed. So I woke up this morning. I finished my show prep in bed, and I came in on two wheels like 5 minutes before the show was supposed to start. But it's a Therapy Thursday, and one of the other things that I think listeners might need therapy for, stop me if I'm lying, Brett Crabtree, is Ted Turner died the other day. Like Turner Broadcasting, TBS.
He was responsible for the 24-hour news cycle.
He was responsible for, forget the 24-hour news cycle, Chewy. He was responsible for the Atlanta Braves being on TBS. And that is an era, like a bygone era. Is that what they would call it?
Definitely. He was 87 or something?
Yeah, he was 87, 88, something like that. He, man, the Braves on TBS is like Notre Dame on NBC.
Right.
Right? I remember growing up in Western New York, when I was young, there were two teams that I could watch, and this is part of the reason why I'm a Braves fan and a Yankees fan, and people look at me silly, because the Braves are my National League team. When I was a little young one, just a little one, before I escaped the clutches of Anakin Skywalker came in and he smoked all the other Padawans in the Jedi Temple.
Sure. I
escaped as a youngling.
Oh, right.
So before I escaped,
you were able to fight him off just a little bit.
Well, there was this room at the Jedi Temple.
What are we doing?
that had a TV with cable in it.
Okay.
And so I could watch the Yankees, who at the time they were on MSG. This was before the Yes Network. And so I would watch the Yankees on MSG, and I'd watch the Braves on TBS.
Okay. So
At
you
the
watched
Jedi
the Braves, right, at the Jedi Temple. But you watched the Braves a lot even as a kid. And now that you're down here, like the Braves are like, this is where the Braves play.
Right. And then what was it? 96, 95, 96, right? 96. No, 96 is the year they won it. 95, 97? What year was it that the Yankees beat the Braves in the World Series? I can't remember.
Somebody will tell us in the comments section.
Yeah. So yeah. It's what I would like to know is how much it affected other people. I didn't think that it would really affect me that much. I don't care about like these billionaire TV mogul. Like, what does that affect me? But what it did, Chewy, is it more affected me on the TBS level. I've been seeing posts about, the Braves being on TBS. It circled all the way back around to the fact that, dude, streaming sucks.
Yeah.
Like, I never thought that I would beg for the days of a set-top cable box, that I had to get up and change by hand because my dad, I was his human remote. I mean, this is ridiculous. I have to have 50 bazillion different apps and can't see half of the games because they're blacked out. And even though I'm paying
Wait,
for
why
it,
are they blacked out? They're blacked out
because apparently we live too close to the Braves. Or the Yankees games, because everybody likes the Yankees. Not everybody, but the Yankees are very popular. There's a reason why the stadiums are filled up all over the country every time the Yankees show up as the visiting team. And the Yankees play so many games, Chewy, on national TV. Guess what? The Major League Baseball app that I pay for to watch the Yankees games, half of them are blacked out. I can't even watch them.
I mean, you wonder why people are pirating.
And I can't watch the Braves games barely at all. It's insane. It's insanity. I'm going crazy. And Ted Turner is a man ahead of his time. Gave him to me right there. I think it was like Channel 29 or something like that.
Mm-hmm.
Or maybe it was 16. I can't remember. I think ESPN was 29 and TBS was 16.
Brett Crabtree did say that Ted Turner was the Braves, essentially.
Yeah. Turner Field.
No. Oh, wow. I didn't even think about that. So he's the Turner in Turner Broadcasting?
He is the Turner.
Ah, okay.
I mean, I almost wonder, and they won't go anywhere and like at this point, but the Braves moved multiple times throughout their history until they landed in Atlanta in, was it the late 60s or something? I almost wonder if the Braves would still be in Atlanta if it weren't for Ted Turner.
Maybe.
Like would that have stuck?
Without his influence.
Yeah, and we think about them being there for so long, but think about this. In like the 90s, they'd only been there for like 20 years by the time the 90s came around. 20 years is nothing. They hadn't even been there a full Marty McFly.
Kevin Simmons says it was 1996 that the Yankees beat the Braves 4-2.
Yeah, it was. Sorry about that. I apologize for bringing up that memory. I knew it was around that time. But then the Braves won one, so it's okay. I think did the Braves win in 95 then? I know that they had that really good run in the 90s, and they should have won way more World Series than just the one. But, hey, we got one just the other year, too. So.
Yeah.
All right, let's get a break in here. Chewy, today on the show, outside of therapy for the Braves and Ted Turner and all that stuff, you and I went down a rabbit hole of a project. Did you finish your project?
Yeah, I've got one more album left, but
okay.
But other than yeah, I've got everything nailed down.
Okay, because what we need to do is we're going to need to pump yours into ChatGPT.
Yeah,
I've already done mine, and people. I think this is going to be a really funny exercise, maybe in futility. All right, we'll be back on the other side. It is the starting lineup, fueled by Loco Coffee on a Therapy Thursday. ESPN Radio 1340 1069 WCDT Winchester.
When we hear drug-endangered children, we may picture extreme situations, but substance misuse can affect any child through unsafe environments, unsecured medications, or even impaired driving. Protecting children is everyone's responsibility. The Franklin County Prevention Coalition partners with schools and law enforcement to raise awareness and provide tools that keep kids safe. Because when we work together to protect our children, we are stronger together. Learn more at fcpctn.org/DEC. This project is funded under a grant contract with the State of Tennessee Department of Mental Health and Substance Abuse Services.
From the 931 Weather Center, it's time for an ESPN Winchester weather update.
Looking forward to some rainy weather headed your way, still with a 30% chance of showers and thunderstorms before 7 a.m. today. It's going to be cloudy throughout the mid-morning, but gradually clearing in the afternoon with a high of 67 degrees, with some slight winds coming in at around 10 miles per hour. Stay tuned to ESPN Radio Winchester for all of your wet weather updates.
It's Larry Shelby, previously on the Paul Feinbaum Show.
You know what, Chris? Let me tell you something. Why don't you go catch your breath before commenting on somebody else's? And Hacksaw Tuscaloosa Jim Duggan. Just shut up, because I could strike you out blindfolded, pitching underhand with both arms tied behind my back.
Okay, why don't we take a break? I'm pretty exhausted.
The Paul Feinbaum Show, weekdays at 3 Eastern on the ESPN app and on the SEC Network.
Back here on the starting lineup, ESPN Radio 1340, 1069 WCDT Winchester. Joe Abraham alongside Chewy on a therapy Thursday, a rainy Thursday here in southern Middle Tennessee. Franklin County's favorite way to get their morning started. You can get involved in the show, 931-967-3500. You can also head on over to the Facebook page, Facebook.com/ESPN Winchester, and jump in to the FMO Facebook feed where you can interact with the show like a lot of our listeners have this morning. And in fact, dropping the knowledge, Kevin Simmons said Ted Turner also brought WCW wrestling to TV as well. That I did not realize. I feel like I knew that at one point in my life, but I feel like that's one of those facts that fell out of my head. But that is huge because the WCW had a huge impact on me and growing up, and I'm going to reveal a little bit about that here on the show today. But I fell out of wrestling when the formerly WWF, which it'll always be the WWF to me. It's now it's been the WWE for 20 years now.
Yeah.
And it's always going to be the WWF. W's in the chat for WWF. But when the WCW collapsed and fell apart, I think they sold to WWF. That was the end for me. WWF, so here's the funny thing, and I don't know if there was a difference because I was too young to really realize, but the WCW, my father let me watch WCW wrestling because he said that it was more like wholesome. Not wholesome, but more like there was less swearing, vulgarity, less like women,
Sure.
you know. And growing up, he didn't want me involved with the WWF. The WWF was a little bit too much attitude for the Attitude Era for me growing up. Meanwhile, in the WCW, they were doing the whole like D-Generation X move.
Yeah.
So, I don't know. It's wrestling, right? Doug Garrett says, when I worked for the Braves, Turner was very accessible. What? And at the ball games a lot. Everything he touched turned out good, except his restaurants and Jane Fonda. Yeah, I need a little bit of that Ted Turner Midas touch.
Oh, yeah.
Everything that I touch, Chewy, doesn't necessarily turn out good. It turns out, but not necessarily good.
Shows out.
It's kind of hit or miss. I mean, when it hits pretty good, but sometimes it misses pretty good too. All right, so Chewy, we've been talking about our top fives, like our own starting lineups, right? Of things, and when I say things, I mean albums, movies, books, and video games. And I tasked you and I, and you're like that kid. You show up for class and you're like trying to scratch out his homework right at the buzzer. But you've got time because I've got mine that we can go through first.
Yeah, go for it. I'm writing my last one down.
So I think that the best way to do this is simply I'm going to throw out there what my fives are, and then we're going to go through some of what chat said about, what they say about me. So we're going to start with my games, which I made a change yesterday. I decided to take GoldenEye out and instead replace it with WCW NWO Revenge because I feel like that was better representation of me personally and shaped me more than GoldenEye. So my games are Tecmo Super Bowl for the Sega Genesis, Super Mario 3, Zelda Ocarina of Time, not Zelda, Halo the original, WCW NWO Revenge. A lot of so Tecmo's Sega, Super Mario was Nintendo, Zelda is a 64, Halo was Xbox, and WCW NWO was Revenge was also 64. Albums: Blink-182, Enema of the State, Yellow Card, Ocean Avenue, Red Hot Chili Peppers, By the Way, Bob Seger's Greatest Hits, and Whiskey Myers' Firewater. which is more. So some of them, like the first three, very much angsty teen.
Mm-hmm.
The Bob Seger one has just been my whole life. Whiskey Myers is more the last couple years. Last couple, I say, like last 10. Movies: Rudy, The Godfather, Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles, Indiana Jones, Star Wars.
Your movies are like, for me, like that one is the one that doesn't surprise me at all.
Yeah.
Like that one is like, okay, yeah,
Pretty
understand all of those.
And then books: The Bible, Extreme Ownership by Jocko Willink and Leif Babin, The Natural Log User Manual, The Way of the Wolf, and Shutter Island is
so good.
Yeah, is in there. That's the one that I think and we talked about this, you and I did a little bit yesterday. I considered like an Agatha Christie book because, I read some of her stuff growing up. There was another one that I read that, had a pretty big impact. But Shutter Island I remember reading that book and just being the first time that I was just blown away.
Hits you
by
like
a book.
Bullet
Yeah.
at the end.
Yeah. So those are my 5s. And that brings me to, now I turned around and I popped these into ChatGPT. And this is the prompt that I gave it. I just literally said, hey, I want to do this idea I came up with for the show, Therapy Thursday. I'm going to give you 5 albums, books, movies, and video games that shaped me. And I want you to break down what they say about me. So I popped it in there. Let's see here. All right, so it says, Joe Abraham is apparently built from competition, nostalgia, rebellion, loyalty, underdog trauma. I don't like that word, trauma. Leadership, books, conspiracy, brain thrillers, southern rock, pop punk heartbreak, and a deep belief that every problem can be fixed with either better execution, a locker room speech, or a guitar solo. So it goes into my games to start with. It says, this list says that you grew up in the perfect window where video games were still simple enough to be fun, but advanced enough to become part of your personality. You like games where there is a clear mission. Win the Super Bowl. Save the princess. Save Hyrule. Save humanity. Beat a man senseless with Goldberg. There's not a lot of moral gray area here. This says that you like structure, competition, and mastery. You don't just want to play. You want to understand the system well enough to beat everybody else at it. Now, it actually literally goes into every game and breaks it down game by game. I don't think I'm going to go into all of that, but then at the bottom, it's got my diagnosis, video game diagnosis. You're competitive, nostalgic, strategic, dramatic, and deeply shaped by the belief that life should have a scoreboard, a final boss, and entrance music. But it is interesting, Chewy, because it says some things about each game that, like WCW NWO Revenge. It says this may be the most revealing one. It says that you like spectacle, you like characters, you like factions, you like rivalries, you like entrances, you like drama, you like storylines where somebody is obviously the villain, but somehow still cool. That's basically sports radio. WCW NWO Revenge explains your entire show format. Where's the Beef Wednesday? Wrestling promo. Tullahoma rivalry. Wrestling feud. Local politics. Heel turn. Chewy, your tag team partner with unpredictable booking. Yeah, that's pretty on point.
Yeah.
So that's my games. The next one is albums that shaped me. What it says about me. The list basically says, I have feelings, but I'm going to hide them behind sarcasm, volume, driving songs, and southern grit. You got a pop punk immaturity. This is
wow.
Like
brutal.
I've never heard it described that way, but yep.
Yeah.
that tracks. Nostalgic longing. Yep, that tracks. California weirdness is the only one but that comes from the whole Red Hot Chili Peppers. But I'm not California weird. Believe me. Blue collar heartland rock and Texas Southern outlaw pain. That is a dangerous emotional cocktail. Brutal, chat. It says
you're a volatile man.
Yeah, you're a little bit of a maniac. Album diagnosis. You are emotionally nostalgic. I think what the word that keeps popping up is nostalgic.
Yeah.
so far. Sarcastically guarded, drawn to honest storytelling, and probably one good Bob Seger song away from staring out a window like you're in a movie trailer about your own life.
Golly, dude, that's a roast.
I
That
know.
was awesome.
I didn't know that it was gonna like crush me like this. I don't think my chat likes me very much. Okay, there's nothing really that it says about any one of these that is something that I gotta read. So I'm gonna skip on to my movies that shaped me. So again, Rudy, The Godfather, Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles, the original, Indiana Jones, and Star Wars. What these say about you. This is a wild list because it has 5 different versions of masculinity. The underdog, the family boss, the wisecracking brother, the adventurer, and the chosen one. So basically your personality is, I want to earn it, I want to protect my people, I want to make jokes, I want to find treasure, and I occasionally want to bring balance to the force. It says about Rudy, at the end it says, it's not about belonging. That probably connects to a lot of what you talk about with Franklin County. Pride, culture, support, and getting people to care. Then further on it talks about The Godfather. Therapy note here. Sometimes not everything is a 5-family war. Okay, I hear you, chat. It is pretty rough. It roasts me pretty bad. It says this one also explains why you can be strategic. You're not just reacting. You're watching the room. Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles. It says that you like humor, loyalty, and people who are a little weird but still show up for each other. That sounds like our chat.
Yeah.
It also confirms that you are not above solving problems with pizza. That sounds about right. Indiana Jones. Indy is not the strongest. He's not invincible. He gets beat up constantly, but he keeps moving. It probably speaks to how you see yourself. Not flawless, not always polished, but resourceful. And then Star Wars. You like Rebels. You like Impossible Odds. You like the scrappy side. You like the little guy taking on the machine. You also like arguing about whether Darth Vader is actually terrible at his job, which we did just yesterday. You are an underdog loyalist with a flair for drama, a belief in family and legacy, a weakness for misfit teams, and a dangerous tendency to turn every local rivalry into a mythological battle between good and evil.
Jeez.
Yeah. So here's what I want you guys to do. I want you to drop, you don't have to drop 5 of everything into the chat, but if you, in the chat, drop like your top 5 things that shaped you from books, movies, albums, and video games, I will copy them and we'll paste them in and we'll see what it says about you guys. The books that shaped me, Chewy.
Okay.
What it says about you. This may be the most revealing category because your books are basically faith, discipline, sales systems, persuasion, paranoia. That's a lot. That says that you're constantly trying to understand 3 things. What is right, who is responsible, and how do I persuade people? What is really going on here? And at the bottom, it said the book diagnosis. You're faith-driven, accountability-obsessed, sales-minded, system-oriented, and just suspicious enough to make every Therapy Thursday segment a little bit more interesting. It says about Shutter Island. It says, this one says that you love a story where reality itself is questioned. That's your conspiracy brain thriller side. Not necessarily conspiracy in the crazy sense, more like you're fascinated by hidden motives, unreliable narrators, and the possibility that the obvious explanation is not the real explanation. This probably feeds your instincts as a talk show host. You like asking, what are we not seeing? So, then it goes on to give me my full profile, Chewy.
All right, go ahead.
Based on these 20 choices, here's a full diagnostic. You are an underdog romantic. You're nostalgic, but not soft. You believe leadership matters. You love teams, but you also like being the guy with the plan. You're emotionally driven, but strategically minded. You are built for radio. This list screams radio host. You like stories. You like heroes and villains. You like nostalgia, arguments, You like music with emotion, games with competition, books about control, persuasion, and meaning. I mean, that's pretty on point.
Yeah. Brett Crabtree wanted you to say the word Sega again.
Sega? Sega Genesis?
I think that's what it was.
Sega. So I saw a thing about the word Sega.
Is it Sega or Sega?
I think at the beginning it goes Sega. I always called it Sega.
Because that's how it's spelled.
Sega. Yeah, Sega Genesis. Which, did you ever have one of the Sega? Oh, I can't remember now what it's called. They came out with a thing. It was like a handheld similar to Sega Game something or another.
I never had a Sega handheld.
Anyway, they had one. It was way too expensive, and it was supposed to kill the Game Boy, but it Sega Game Gear. No, you would be too old. Or it would be too old for you.
No.
I'll have to show you one. My sister had one, and she only got like one game for it because it was so expensive. But it was like an actual Sega in a handheld. Yeah, it was huge too. Anyway, so here's the thing that I heard about the at the beginning when it opened the Sega games, that audio where it said Sega took up 1/16 of the entire cartridge.
Oh my God!
Yeah, and they didn't want to use it, and the creator of Sega was like, one of the Asian guys that's a part of it. He's like, no, we got to use it because it's gonna like something to do with branding or whatever the case is. But they're like, it's crushing our memory on the game. It took up like 1/16 of the whole cartridge.
Jeez. All right then.
All right. So that's my breakdown.
That's a pretty interesting breakdown.
There's a lot, I know, but I think that it says a lot about me as a person, me as a host. So if you want me to do this for you guys, drop your 5 in the chat and I'll pop them in. When we come back, we're going to hear what Chewy's 5 are. We're going to pop his in the chat, and we're going to go from there. See what it says about him. I'm more concerned about hearing Chewy's top 5 or Chewy's 5s than my own because his mind, the enigma.
Okay, I was gonna say it, but you beat me to it. The inner machinations of my mind are an enigma.
All right. We'll be back on the other side. It is the starting lineup. You're tuned in to ESPN Radio 1340 1069 WCDT Winchester.
Got a project to tackle or a party to plan? Skip the stress and rent it instead at Reliable Rental in Winchester. From tools and heavy-duty machines to chairs, tables, and event essentials, they've got what you need to get the job done right. Whether it's work or a weekend celebration, Reliable Rental makes it easy. Stop by 2433 Deckard Boulevard in Winchester or check out everything they offer online at reliablerentalfc.com. Reliable Rental. When you need it, they've got it.
Spring is in the air, and so are fresh new savings at Furniture Merchandise Outlet, FMO, right here in Tullahoma. Ready to refresh your space? From living rooms and bedrooms to dining sets and mattresses, FMO has the styles you want at prices you'll love. No long waits, no sticker shock. Just take it home today. Visit them at 105 North Jackson Street in Tullahoma or browse anytime at FMOTN.com. Furniture Merchandise Outlet, where spring cleaning turns into a spring upgrade.
Hey, it's Chewy, and if you've got pests, you need the folks that I trust. Burrow's Termite and Pest Control. They're right here in the heart of Estill Springs at 101 North Main Street, taking care of everything from termites and ants to spiders and those little critters that love sneaking into your home. Burrow's is family-owned, they're local, and they've been protecting homes around here for years. So don't wait, swing by or check them out over there online at burrowstermite.com. Burrow's Termite and Pest Control. They'll treat you right and treat your home even better.
It's time for a local news break from the 931 Go News Center.
The Franklin County Sheriff's Office executed multiple search warrants on April 30th with assistance from the Coffee County Sheriff's Office, the Tennessee Bureau of Investigation, the Manchester Police Department, and the 12th Judicial Drug Task Force. During the first search, authorities seized approximately 1 ounce of a substance believed to be methamphetamine, 2 handguns, and drug paraphernalia. Arrested were Shireen Lachey Peoples, charged with felony possession of methamphetamine, simple possession of a Schedule II controlled substance, possession of a legend drug without prescription, and possession of drug paraphernalia. DeMarco LaShawn Peoples was charged with unlawful possession of a firearm. Gawain Lysandra Grimes was charged with possession of drug paraphernalia. Later that same day, a second search warrant was executed. Investigators seized approximately 1 ounce of a substance believed to be methamphetamine, 2 ounces of mushrooms, about 1.5 ounces of marijuana, and a Cadillac STS. Daniel Joe James was arrested and charged with manufacture, sale, or delivery of a Schedule I controlled substance, possession of a Schedule VI controlled substance with intent to distribute, felony possession of methamphetamine, and possession of drug paraphernalia. Separately, on May 4th, Herbert Eli Mays was indicted by a Franklin County grand jury and arrested on charges of sexual exploitation of a minor and solicitation of a minor. He remains in custody without bond, pending a May 15th court date. In other news, the Winchester Police Department has announced the annual Police and Firefighters Memorial Service will be held May 11th at 6 p.m. on the south lawn of Winchester City Hall. This year marks the 30th anniversary of the service. Tullahoma Fire Chief Kenneth Pearson will serve as the featured speaker. Attendees will also have the opportunity to honor loved ones with commemorative blue and red line flags. For more news and local updates, visit 931go.com. Stay informed and stay connected to your community with ESPN Radio Winchester.
I don't know what to tell you. I know it's not much, but this is the best they've got. You're listening to the starting lineup on ESPN Radio, WCDT Winchester.
Oh my gosh. I'm pretty sure you destroyed my chat.
What?
So I just put Chewy's fives into the chat GPT, and it doesn't even know what to do with itself. It's like, I think that my chat just self-realized.
For anyone who's curious,
it's self-aware now.
I did want to show them this.
Yeah.
So yesterday, while Joe brought this up, I started with movies because I thought, oh, that'll be easy. Yeah, narrowing it down to 5 was bad. This was all of the movies that I got.
There's got to be like 70 on there.
Yeah. Top to bottom on the whole page.
Yeah, and we did the same thing with games. I was like, Chewy, come up with 5 games that like shaped who you are. And he could only narrow it down to like 12. Took him a week to narrow it down, and he started with like 40.
Yeah.
And took him like a week to narrow it down to 5.
Yeah.
Okay. So back here on the starting lineup, ESPN Radio 1340 1069 WCDT Winchester. I've gone through, Chewy, and I put yours in.
Oh boy.
Now, what we need to do, though, real quick, before we explain the internet machinations of your mind, is we need to go through by category and tell people what all these are. So go ahead and walk us through your 5s for each category.
Okay, I'll start off with books.
And I don't know what half of these are.
Okay.
So go ahead.
The first one is Stella Luna. This was a book that it was a childhood memory book that has stuck with me pretty strongly throughout the years. It is about a fruit bat that goes basically missing from its original family.
Really?
And has to live with a group of birds.
Ah.
And it has to adjust to bird life and being accepted by birds. So it's like it switches from being nocturnal and, it has to eat what the birds eat. And
You're a fruit bat.
Yeah. Yeah.
Okay, next.
The next one is A Hero with 1,000 Faces. This was basically a book telling people about what was described as the monomyth of the hero, basically. If you've ever heard the term the hero's journey, this is the book that this comes from. And it sort of wrote down the blueprint for most fiction's heroes. And if you notice, there's like always a similarity between being the orphan, learning the thing, with the downfall, the temptation, all of these things. It comes from this book.
Really?
Yeah.
Wow.
Like George Lucas, J.K. Rowling.
Right.
A lot of those people follow the story almost verbatim. It's what's taught in a lot of creative writing classes as well.
If I kick the bucket, I just want it known that my kids are going to be in a good place.
Yeah.
Because it'll send them on a cool arc.
A cool character arc. The next one I have is The Odyssey by Homer.
Okay.
Are
you excited about that movie that's coming out?
Not really.
Oh.
I'm gonna watch it, but I love the Odyssey so much that I know when I get there, I'm gonna be like, well, why did they do that? You know what I mean? Like, it's gonna be that
why
thing.
did they cast Matt Damon as Odysseus?
Yeah, it's there's a few things. And also, did you see Agamemnon's costume? He looks like a Spartan, but not like that Spartan. I'm talking about like a Halo Spartan.
Oh,
yeah, and it's not in a good way. But the next one I had was The Raven. That was from middle school. So the Odyssey and The Raven both came from school.
Yeah.
So
I read those two in school.
Mr. Tom's in high school and Miss Hand in middle school for The Raven.
Yeah.
And then finally, it's The King in Yellow, which is what was originally called weird fiction. It was one of those early Lovecraft sort of style stories.
Yeah.
But The King in Yellow is a little bit older. Lovecraft was also partially inspired by him as well, who wrote this book. And it's a series of short horror stories, but in the middle, there's one, it's a play called The King in Yellow, and throughout the reading, you realize if you read the play, you go mad, but you don't realize that until halfway through the book. So you're like already, like the implication is that you've already lost your mind.
Whoa.
Yeah, it's really spooky.
I'm not going to read that book. It tells me a lot about you.
Yeah, it's really good.
You've been recovering ever since.
Yeah. So for movies, this was where I had the biggest issue. Because, like, you saw even on my little piece of paper, like, I was scratched out 3 or 4 different movies trying to figure out what I would actually want to put on here.
Your list, though, makes sense to me because these are the ones that in our conversations, you go back to these ones a lot.
So the first one I put is Oh Brother, Where Art Thou?
Yeah.
The Coen Brothers movie. The second one is The Shape of Water. That was the Guillermo del Toro movie about the fish man.
Yeah, which is weird to me because I don't think I've ever actually watched that movie, but I always thought that it kind of was like hokey, which is probably why I never watched it. But as somebody who's very particular about movies, the fact that it's on your list is interesting. I may need to check that out.
It's one of my top 5 ever.
Yeah.
Period. Atlantis, The Lost Empire. That was the Disney animation from the early aughts, late 90s sort of era.
Yep.
Star Wars, that one was an obvious one. And when I say Star Wars, I'm just talking about any Star Wars.
Yeah.
And then finally, this was a tough one. I almost put Mad Max Fury Road, but I didn't. And I put The Lighthouse by Robert Eggers.
What made you choose The Lighthouse over Mad Max Fury Road?
I think, honestly, I think they're both equally well made. But I think I like The Lighthouse a little bit better.
Yeah.
Just vibe-wise, it was more my speed. I like that kind of movie a little bit better. Very Lovecraft, slow burn. It took its time with its world building and its fear. My albums are sort of where it falls apart.
Okay.
Because my music tastes are not normal. They're not linear. They're just sort of all over the place. So my first one was 50 Cent's Get Rich or Die Trying.
Yeah.
That was his debut album, had all like those classics from the early aughts. Eminem helped produce, and that's sort of like where he sort of got started. Eiffel 65's Europop is number 2, and that's the one. If you ever heard that song, I'm Blue, it comes from that. And I love all the songs on that album. Deep Down, Hyperlink, all of it. Very Y2K style songs.
Yeah.
Left Overture by Kansas. This is the one that featured Carry On My Wayward Son, if you like that song.
Okay.
And it was from the 70s, I believe. The next one is Exodus by Bob Marley. This is one of the ones you may know, the Three Little Birds song. That's where this one comes from. And Sinatra's Swingin' Session. This was a compilation of Frank Sinatra doing a few covers of some songs and some originals, and in particular Blue Moon. His cover Blue Moon is what's featured in this one as well.
Okay.
That was a smash hit, and that's why that one's on there. And then finally, for video games, I did Knights of the Old Republic. It's a Star Wars role-play game. The Elder Scrolls 4 Oblivion. Zelda Ocarina of Time. Metroid Zero Mission, which was a recreation of the original Metroid that was on the SNES. For Game Boy, and then Fallout New Vegas.
Okay.
So I don't know if anybody can hear a pattern there. I don't know if there is one, but
so I popped this in the chat, and it said, and I asked because I hadn't heard of half of this stuff like that you gave me, and I said, here's his list, here's Chewy's list. Let's do him next. Let me know if you need any more information on these. And it just says, I've got enough, period. It's like, no more. Then it follows up by saying, Chewie's list is wildly more mystical, chaotic, and theater kid coded than yours.
Screw you, dude.
Joe's list says, I want to lead the team, win the game, tell the truth, and maybe cut a wrestling promo. Chewie's list says, I've stared into the cosmic void, quoted a meme, played a morally ambiguous RPG for 300 hours, and somehow still believe in whimsy. I mean, that is so on point.
Dang, dude.
Chewie is apparently built from ancient myth, cosmic horror, jazz swing chaos, fantasy RPGs, outlaw sci-fi, weird movies, tragedy, folklore, and one extremely aggressive 50 Cent album. Hold on. This is my favorite line. That is a dangerous man to give a microphone to. That's how it defines you.
Oh my gosh, dude! Dang.
It says for me, it says you're built for radio. For Chewie, it says don't make the mistake of giving him a microphone.
Oh my god.
Chewie's the big Chewie profile. Chewie's list says he's not just nostalgic. He's mythically nostalgic. Joe picked things that are about teams winning, leadership, loyalty, and overcoming odds. Chewie picked things that are about quests, monsters, prophecy, identity, strange gods, underwater romance, ancient ruins, madness, and moral choices wherever every answer is somehow wrong. This is not a favorite media list. This is a wizard's bookshelf.
Dang. Okay, I'll take that.
A Hot Topic clearance rack. A Criterion collection shelf and an Xbox 360 hard drive all fighting in the same room.
Hell yeah, dude.
Oh my gosh.
Oh my god.
This is Stella Luna. It says thematically it's about identity, belonging, being raised in a world that doesn't quite fit you. That is extremely Chewie. Stella Luna says Chewie has always related to the character who is technically a part of the group, but also clearly not like everybody else. It is sweet, but also revealing. Hero with 1,000 faces. He wants to understand why certain stories hit us in the soul. This is not casual reading. This is the kind of book you read when you're trying to figure out why every story somehow feels like a sacred prophecy. The Odyssey says that he's drawn to wandering, adventure, cleverness, and the idea that the road home is never simple. It also means that he probably loves stories where the hero is not perfect, just stubborn enough to survive. The Raven. Raven says Chewie has a flair for melancholy. He likes atmosphere. He likes rhythm. He likes theatrical performance of despair. This is, I am not depressed. I am haunted energy. Diagnosis, Chewie doesn't have bad days. He has gothic episodes. Oh, man. The King in Yellow is not just spooky. It's the idea that art, madness, mythology, and forbidden knowledge can infect your brain. That says that Chewie is fascinated by things that you're not supposed to fully understand. He likes weird fiction. He likes cursed text. He likes mystery that refuses to explain itself. Chewie is one YouTube rabbit hole away from saying, Joe, I found something strange. No, that's every day with Chewie. Chewie's complete book diagnosis before we hit the top of the hour. This is just the books. He's soft-hearted, myth-obsessed, dramatically haunted, drawn to outsiders, and dangerously interested in forbidden knowledge. In normal terms, sweet bat child with eldritch tendencies. I don't know what that means.
I like that. Eldritch is like that. That's the word that they use for a lot of Lovecraftian monsters and stuff.
Okay. All right. So in hour number 2, we will continue to break down. Again, this is. There's a point to all of this, right? We're trying to get into the inner machinations of Chewie's mind. He tells us that it's an enigma and that we can't understand it. Well, with the help of AI, a lot of things are possible these days. We're going to see if we can kind of figure him out. when we come back in hour number 2. It is a Therapy Thursday, and I mean today is super therapy. We're going all in. If you want us to break you down, feel free to drop it into the chat, and we will we'll review what it says about you. Gretchen Ferris says, Stella Luna crying. And then she says, we are laughing so hard right now.
Doug Garrett says, is you is or is you ain't my constituents. Chewy's new campaign slogan for his write-in campaign.
Oh, that's perfect.
Yeah.
I freaking love that movie. We might need to throw that on the TV today at the office. I'm not even going to be here most of the day. All right. We'll be back on the other side for hour number 2 to continue breaking down what is Chewy. It is the starting lineup. ESPN Radio 1340, 1069, WCDT Winchester.
This is ESPN Radio Winchester, where Franklin County comes to life. From local news and athletics to everything in between, we're proud to bring you the stories that matter right here at home. And it's all made possible by local businesses connecting with real people in our community every single day. When you support them, you support our local coverage. Over 75 years of Franklin County heritage. Want your business to be a part of it? Contact WCDT today. ESPN Radio Winchester. Franklin County plays here.
The starting lineup with Joe and Chewy is presented by Loco in Winchester. Right here in Winchester, Loco is doing things their own way. From locally roasted Loco coffee to a one-of-a-kind shop experience. It's a place that's built for the Franklin County community. So if you haven't stopped by yet, now's the time. Support local. Drink Loco coffee, fueling Franklin County mornings. Roasted right here in Franklin County. And don't forget to tune into the starting lineup, weekdays from 7 to 9.
With the latest from around FCHS and Rebel Nation.
The Rebel Report, every weekday, presented by Oaklawn Baptist Church, right here on ESPN Radio Winchester.
Good morning, Franklin County. Welcome back to your Rebel Report.
We've got a packed update today, and we're going to start off by recognizing some incredible achievements from our track and field athletes.
That's right. Several Rebels have officially qualified for the state meet, and we want to give them recognition that they deserve for their hard work and dedication this season.
Congratulations to Monte Johnson, who qualified for the triple jump and is part of the co-ed 4x400 relay team.
Nikasia Holman will also be competing in the co-ed 4x400 and the 4x200 relay.
Peyton Deering is heading to state in the 300 hurdles and will also compete in both the co-ed 4x400 and 4x200 relays.
We also want to recognize Briley Taylor for qualifying in the high jump and the 4x200 relay.
Amara Williams will represent the Rebels in the 4x200 relay as well.
Jaden Smith, Josh Smith, Alex Domencio, and Austin Heath have all qualified as members of the 4x800 relay team as well.
And a big congratulations to Brandon Walker, who qualified in both the 110-meter hurdles and the high jump.
Finally, Parker Hill will also compete in the 4x400 co-ed relay team.
We are incredibly proud of all of our athletes, and we wish them the best of luck as they compete at the state meet.
Now, let's move into postseason action for some of our other Rebel teams.
The baseball team is set to begin region tournament play this Friday as they take on Battle Creek.
That game will be played in Lawrence County, and the Rebels are looking to start strong as they continue their postseason run.
The softball team is also fighting to keep their season alive as they face off against Tullahoma.
A win in that matchup would send them to the district championship game, so there's a lot on the line.
Be sure to come out and support our Lady Rebels as they battle to extend their playoff run.
Unfortunately, the boys soccer team saw their season come to an end Tuesday night.
They fell to Shelbyville, wrapping up what was a competitive and hard-fought season.
We want to thank our soccer players and coaches for their effort and dedication all year long.
And as always, we're proud of every single Rebel athlete representing our school.
That's all for today's Rebel Report.
Good luck to all of our teams, and lastly, go Rebels.
Broadcasting live from the ESPN Radio Winchester studio, it's the starting lineup. Now, here are your hosts, Joe Abraham and Chewy.
Back here for hour number 2 on the starting lineup. ESPN Radio 1340 1069 WCDT Winchester. Joe Abraham alongside Chewy. No Sean Crabtree this morning. Mayor not feeling well. Hope he gets to feeling better. He's dealing with, I don't know, there's stuff going around. You know, the junk. Chewy's dealing with the allergies. Katie lost her voice. I've kind of got it working in my face. Hope everybody's feeling all right. I don't know if it's an allergy thing with the, you know, the rain and the plants opening up and stuff like that, but I feel like we're being attacked by Mother Nature. All right, so later today is the Tennessee 250, and hopefully, fingers crossed, the weather clears up enough for us to enjoy that thing, Chewy. We've been anticipating it for a while. I know they've put a ton of work in on it. I hate that it's nasty out. But if you get a chance, I encourage you to go out there and check it out.
All right, let's jump into this call from Dick. Good morning, Deckard.
Good morning, WCDT.
How are you guys this morning?
We are wonderful on this Thursday morning. How about you guys?
We're doing pretty good, but we're trying to get rid of some of these clouds. So I think we need to put some positivity up in the air and maybe start off our day with a really, really good pledge.
Well, we've got 4 very excited first graders ready to do that for you.
All right, let's hear it.
Good morning, Franklin County. Please join decorating as we stand salute and pray. I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Beautiful pledge this morning. Great job, guys.
All right, it's our joke this morning. Me, come on up. Come all the way down. All right, come your name? Levi Joke. Where do sheep go on vacation?
I don't know.
The Bahamas. That was a good one.
All right, you guys have a wonderful day out there. That was great.
Thank you. You guys too.
See ya.
That was a pretty good one.
Yeah.
All right. Continuing here on a Therapy Thursday on the starting lineup. We appreciate you tuning in this morning. So what we've been trying to do today is break down the inner machinations of Chewy's mind, also of my mind.
Yeah.
Trying to figure out why this show is such a disaster all the time. What's wrong with us? And that way you guys can have a better understanding in the long run for when we say stupid things. Maybe you can get to the bottom of it. I mean, Brett Crabtree, maybe he can understand why I say Bonnaroo and Sega. Maybe. I don't know. Maybe not. So, Chewy, we got through all of your books, which were interesting, to say the least. Again, to recap, Chewy is soft-hearted, myth-obsessed, dramatically haunted, drawn to outsiders, and dangerously interested in forbidden knowledge. Yeah, I would say that's about right. So from a movie perspective, Oh Brother, Where Art Thou? Oh Brother, Where Art Thou?
Where art thou?
Where art thou? Why can't I say that?
I don't know.
Oh Brother, Where Art Thou?
Speech therapy instead of regular therapy.
Hey, don't make fun of me. I took speech therapy when I was in school because I said my all. Instead of saying R's, I said ow.
Oh, yeah.
Call.
Call.
Therapy Thursday.
I know, it's Speech Therapy Thursday. Okay. Oh, brother, where art? Why can't I say this?
We'll take your time.
Whoa.
We'll sit here with you until we get there.
Oh, brother, where art thou?
Yeah, there you go.
Got it. Bam!
First try.
This fits perfectly. It's sunny. It's funny. Sorry, not sunny. Funny, southern, mythic, musical, absurd, quotable, and somehow based on the Odyssey, which is funny because that's one of your books.
Mm-hmm.
It says that Chewy likes smart, dumb things or dumb, smart things. He likes art that can be hilarious and literary at the same time. He also likes strange characters, old-timey music, folklore, and a world that feels slightly sideways. Diagnosis. Chewy wants every serious story to include at least one banjo and one idiot. The Shape of Water. This is a big one. This says that Chewy is drawn to outsiders, misunderstood creatures, forbidden love, and beauty in the strange. The Shape of Water is basically a love letter to weird people. It says that Chewy doesn't need to be the hero to look normal. In fact, he may prefer that they don't. He doesn't need the hero to look normal. In fact, he may prefer that they don't. Chewy believes that the monster deserves a hug and possibly a romantic subplot.
Shape of Water is one of the best. If you haven't watched it, go watch it.
Yeah, I'll have to check it out. Atlantis, The Lost Empire. This says that Chewy likes exploration and lore. It does mention the steampunk technology and underappreciated Disney greatness. It also says that he has a strong, this movie was underrated, and I will defend it in court energy. Chewie turns a dusty map into more than most elected officials. For Joe, Star Wars is rebellion, legacy, and good versus evil. For Chewie, I don't know what's wrong with me this morning. It must be
good versus evil.
It must be those.
That's you and Tommy. Good versus evil.
That'd be the name of our movie.
Oh my God!
It must be those those non CBD gummies that I took last night.
It's still in your system,
I guess. All right. So for Joe, Star Wars is rebellion, legacy, and good versus evil. For Chewie, Star Wars is myth, destiny, world building, fallen orders, ancient religions, and lightsaber philosophy. Chewie is not just watching Star Wars. Chewie is thinking about Jedi doctrine, Sith ideology, the nature of balance, and whether the prequel-era Jedi were actually a failing institution. Diagnosis. Chewie doesn't just like Star Wars. He has filed emotional paperwork with the Galactic Senate. The Lighthouse, this is where the list goes fully unhinged. The Lighthouse is isolation, madness, masculinity, mythology, guilt, seagulls, and two men losing their minds in black and white. It says that Chewie enjoys movies that feel like a panic attack in an old photograph. It also says he is comfortable with art that gives you zero comfort. Diagnosis. Chewie watches a movie and says, I liked it, but I do wish it had more psychological decay. Movie diagnosis. Chewie's movies say he likes mythic journeys, strange love stories, lost civilizations, ancient space religion, and black and white lighthouse insanity. In other words, Chewie is what happens when a theater kid gets an Xbox and a library card. Oh my gosh.
All right. Hurtful.
But true. Listen, the first thing about therapy, right, is you gotta address it. You gotta look yourself in the mirror, you know? That's what we're doing here. All right.
I hate that guy. I hate walking past the mirror because I always have to look at that guy who ruined my life. You know, you ever just walk past the mirror and almost start swinging?
Oh,
you're like,
gosh.
You.
50 Cent, get rich or die trying. Most of his list is myth, mystery, and emotional weirdness, but this album says sometimes Chewie needs pure swagger. It's survival music. It's confidence music. It's I am walking into the room like I own it music. Diagnosis. Chewie may be haunted, but he still wants entrance music. Eiffel 65 Europop says that Chewie is willing to love something because it's fun, not because it's cool. That's important. This is the part of Chewie that will go from cosmic horror to I'm blue, da-ba-dee, without an apology. Chewie contains multitudes, and some of those multitudes are neon.
Dude, it's just roasting me. Did you tell it to roast me?
No, it did this to me, too. Now we're back to Mythic Chewie with Kansas leftoverture. Carry On, Wayward Son alone explains half of this personality, the mythic Chewie personality. This album says Chewie likes big, dramatic, progressive rock with a sense of destiny. It's emotional, technical, theatrical. Perfect. Diagnosis. Chewie believes in a guitar solo can complete a character arc. Bob Marley and the Wailers. This gives Chewie's list more heart. It says he is drawn to music with spiritual weight and cultural force. Chewie's soul wants peace, but his brain keeps choosing Cursed Lighthouse. Ooh, your
Dang.
soul and your brain.
They don't match.
Yeah.
That's so real.
That is, I feel that for you.
Yeah.
Swing in Session. It fits his theater/radio energy. Swing music is controlled chaos. It's a bit more, it's playful but technical, loose but tight, fun but skilled. That is a very Chewy thing. Diagnosis. Chewy wants life to be scored like a chaotic 1940s cartoon chase scene. So your full album diagnosis. Chewy's albums say he is part gangster confidence, part Eurodance goblin, part classic rock prophet, part spiritual wanderer, and part swing band chaos gremlin. Why are you a gremlin and a goblin?
I don't know.
That's not a playlist. That's a character sheet, it says. All right. I mean, I can't argue. I can't. It's on point.
Sure.
So
We'll say that.
if it calls you a goblin, you're going to have to just lean into that, I think.
Yeah.
Okay, Knights of the Old Republic says that he loves choices, consequences, mythology, and the idea that identity is not always what you think it is. Chewie has never made a simple decision when a morally complicated one was available. I don't know what that means. The Elder Scrolls Oblivion. Oblivion says Chewie loves open worlds, weird side quests, fantasy nonsense, and wandering into a cave for 6 hours instead of doing the main mission.
Yeah.
You do love side quests.
Oh, yeah.
My
life is a side quest.
This is a game of, I know the world is ending, but I have errands. The world is ending, and Chewie's out there to save the world. Instead, he's like stuck on some side quest for the next 14 hours. That says a lot. Diagnosis. Chewie can be given one clear objective and still come back 3 hours later wearing different armor with no explanation. Zelda Ocarina of Time. This is the overlap with Joe, but it means something slightly different for Chewie. I like the fact that it took your and my personalities in the same movies and the same games, but gave us different reasons as to why we like them. For Joe, Ocarina is destiny and responsibility. That's true. For Chewie, it's myth, time, music, lost innocence, temples, magic, and melancholy. He probably connects less with the save the kingdom and more with the this world feels ancient and sad and beautiful. Chewie hears an ocarina and immediately enters a reflective, emotional side quest. Is that right?
Pretty much.
Yeah. Metroid Zero Mission. Metroid is lonely, precise, and mysterious. It also has a strong the map is the therapy energy. Chewie enjoys being lost. As long as there is a missile upgrade somewhere nearby. Fallout New Vegas. New Vegas is morally gray, political, weird, funny, violent, philosophical, and full of factions who all think that they're right. That is Chewie catnip. This says he likes worlds where no choice is clean and every group has a sales pitch. It also explains why he probably enjoys arguing hypotheticals. Diagnosis. Chewie cannot order lunch without considering faction consequences. Chewie's games say he loves lore, moral ambiguity, ancient orders, open world, side quests, isolation, weird factions, and the ability to ignore the main objective indefinitely. In other words, Chewie is a man who would save the world, but only after finishing 47 optional side quests and talking to every NPC twice.
Yeah, that's about right.
Full Chewie personality profile. Everything is a journey. Every guest is a mentor. Every minor inconvenience is a trial. Every trip to the gas station is crossing the threshold. Chewie is deeply drawn to... let me go back to... Chewie is myth-brained. That's number one. Chewie is deeply drawn to outsiders is number two. Chewie likes darkness, but not hopelessness. The Raven, the King in Yellow, the Lighthouse, Fallout, New Vegas, there's a lot of shadow, but it's balanced with Stella Luna, Europop, Atlantis, swing music, and Oh Brother. So he's not just dark, he's weirdly hopeful in a haunted way. Chewie has chaos energy is number four, but he likes deep structure. This is the contradiction. On the surface, silly, funny, random, geeky, unpredictable. Underneath, mythology, archetypes, lore, systems, philosophy, game mechanics, world building. So he's not random. He's operating from a very strange internal mythology. Chewie, number 5, Chewie has elite side quest energy. He wants the interesting path, the weird path, the path where you find a cursed book, a jazz record, a lost city, a talking fish man, and morally questionable bounty hunter. And number 6, Chewie is built for radio in a completely different way than Joe. Joe is built for radio because he thinks in conflict, leadership, rivalry, and big emotional sports narratives. Chewie is built for radio because his brain makes connections nobody else would make. He can go from Star Wars to the Odyssey to the Lighthouse to Fallout New Vegas to 50 Cent and somehow make it feel like it all belongs together. That's a gift. Maybe a disorder, but definitely a gift.
What a jerk.
Maybe a disorder.
There's a much stronger word I'd like to use for that one.
Yeah.
But yes.
Final Chewie diagnosis. Myth-loving, side-questing, cosmic horror adjacent, theater kid coded. Or shorter, Chewie is what happens when Joseph Campbell, 50 Cent, Edgar Allan Poe, and a GameStop employee all try to raise the same child. That's roasting your parents.
Dude, dang.
Oh, gosh. My list said that I need leadership and competition. Chewie's list said that he needs a lantern, a cursed map, and maybe adult supervision. I don't know. That's a lot, man.
Jeez.
Yeah.
And that was like, could you imagine if we gave all of our favorites?
Oh, man.
Man. I don't even want to think about it. Anyway, Doug Garrett did jump in with some of his picks.
Yeah. Well, I'm gonna copy and paste his in, and we'll see what it says about Doug Garrett, who has, by the way, Doug Garrett has officially gone 2 full years as salesperson of the month. Over at Russell Barnett
That's
Chevy.
amazing. 24 months in a row.
So if you're looking to buy a new vehicle.
Or some half-price tickets. I think he said he only had like 12 left or something.
Doug, you got any tickets left? He might not. They were getting low. I think they were down to like 10 or something.
Yeah.
But if you need tickets to Friday night's spring game, tomorrow night's spring game, go see Doug Garrett at Russell Barnett Chevy. He'll also sell you a car. But here's the thing is, if you pre-order the tickets, if you pre-buy the tickets, then we, Franklin County, we keep all the pre-sale money here in Franklin County. If you show up tomorrow at the game to buy the tickets, that money goes to Tullahoma. So, and we've only got a few left, so let's finish them out at least, so that we can put some money back into the hopper. We keep that money in the football program. I'm really excited about that. I don't know what kind of, how they've been practicing the last couple of days with the weather. He says he's got 7 left.
7 tickets left.
7 left. So
All
don't
right.
walk, run over to Russell Barnett Chevy in Winchester. And if you buy it, let me put it this way. Doug, I'm going to throw this out there. If you buy a car, he'll give you a ticket free. Is that okay, Doug? Will you buy their ticket if they buy a car? All right, we get a break in here. We'll be back on the other side. I don't know. I might have lied there, but I'm pretty sure you would. It is the starting lineup. You're listening to ESPN Radio 1340 1069 WCDT Winchester.
A lot of businesses think better advertising means spending more money. The truth is, the most expensive advertising is the kind that doesn't work. When your message is consistent, your category is protected, and your advertising works together across multiple platforms like radio, billboards, and digital, all connected to the teams that Franklin County loves, you actually spend less over time. That's why our partners don't just advertise, they own their space. Learn how smart advertising can save you money with ESPN Radio 1340 1069 WCDT Winchester.
From the 931 Go Weather Center, it's time for an ESPN Radio Winchester weather update, presented by Pennett's Pharmacy.
Looking forward to some rainy weather headed your way still, with a 30% chance of showers and thunderstorms before 7 a.m. today. It's going to be cloudy throughout the mid-morning, but gradually clearing in the afternoon with a high of 67 degrees, with some slight winds coming in at around 10 miles per hour. Stay tuned to ESPN Radio Winchester for all of your wet weather updates.
Looking for more than just prescriptions? Bennett's Pharmacy in Winchester has it all. Grab a bite from our menu, browse our boutique for one-of-a-kind finds,
and sip on a Bloody Marty that's worth talking about, all in one stop. Located at 1201 Dinah Shore Boulevard, Bennett's Pharmacy is your unexpected destination for great food, fun shopping, and so much more. Call us at 931-967-2777 or come see what everyone's raving about.
The opinions of the hosts are their own, and they do not represent the opinions of, well, really anybody else. You're listening to the starting lineup. Now back to Joe and Chewy.
All right, back here on the starting lineup, ESPN Radio 1340, 1069 WCDT Winchester. So Doug Garrett supplied us his list of albums in the chat. He said that
great picks, by the way.
Albums would tell his story best. So here's a little insight into your mind. We can't give it all. We can't give away. We can't give away the cow, Chewy. With Doug, we can't tell people his 5 from each category because then they might also gain the superpower to become
Good
the
point.
top salesperson 24 months in a row. And this county can only handle one Doug.
Right.
Which, by the way, Doug said that he's all for buying your ticket to tomorrow night's spring game.
If you buy a car.
If you buy a car. He's all for that.
Kevin Simmons also said, "Congratulations, Doug. You're awesome."
Yeah, he's awesome. All right, so albums that would tell his story the best. Metallica, Ride the Lightning. Oh, you know, I should have put AC/DC on mine. No, well, it's fine.
See, it needs to be 10.
It needs to. That's a good point. I don't know if it would have changed anything. I think it got a pretty good. It literally, for me with you, it literally told me it does not need any more. It just like
I have enough.
Yeah, basically said please no. Primus Pork Soda, Hank Williams Jr. Greatest Hits 1, Mercy Me, Coming Up to Breathe, Led Zeppelin, Houses of the Holy. So I popped that into chat. And it said Doug Garrett's album list is a fantastic radio content because it does not read like a random music list. It reads like a man who can sell you a truck. Quote Hank. I can't talk today. Quote Hank, praise Jesus, blast Metallica, and then casually tell you he also listens to Primus. Is that how you say that, Primus? Which is where the warning light comes on. Doug's list said, I am a hardworking Southern salesman with a rock and roll backbone, a rebellious streak, a faith foundation, and just enough weirdness that you should never fully assume that you have me figured out. It's not a basic list. It is blue-collared chaos with a Bible in the glove box. Let's see. Ride the Lightning. It says he probably respects power, precision, and momentum. Metallica is not sloppy anger. It is controlled aggression. Doug is polite until the negotiation starts. Then Metallica kicks in. Ride the Lightning tells me Doug doesn't just want to sell a truck. He wants to win the truck-selling war. Primus Pork Soda. This tells me that Doug can handle chaos, which probably helps him in sales. Because if you can listen to Primus and still function in society, you probably can handle a customer who says, I'm just looking, and then stays for 3 hours. Doug's diagnosis. Underneath the professional salesman exterior, Doug has I know a guy energy. Primus on the list tells me Doug has absolutely had a customer interaction where he thought, this is weird, but I can work with weird. Hank Williams Jr. This says that Doug is probably connects with regular people easily. You don't win Salesman of the Month 24 months straight by acting like you're above folks. Hank Jr. is people music. He is direct. He is familiar. It says, I know who I am. Doug can probably talk trucks, hunting, family, football, church, and interest rates without changing gears. Hank Jr. tells me Doug doesn't sell vehicles from a script. He sells them from a tailgate conversation. Mercy Me coming up to breathe. This balances the whole list. Without Mercy Me, Doug's list is just hard rock, weird funk, classic rock, outlaw country. With Mercy Me, it becomes a full personality. This is a man who can push hard, compete hard, and still understands that he needs grace. Mercy Me tells me that Doug may sell like a machine, but he's still got a soul, and probably thanks the Lord after closing the deal. He actually, Doug actually thanks the Lord basically every day on Facebook. I don't know if you see this, but he posts daily just about on Facebook, like every morning, thanking the Lord. Led Zeppelin. It says that Doug probably has old school taste, but doesn't want boring. He likes things with flavor, attitude, and a little mystique. Classic rock charisma. He may be selling Chevrolets, but somewhere in his head there's Zeppelin riff playing when he hands over the keys. Zeppelin tells me that Doug doesn't just want to make a sale. He wants the customer leaving like they just bought a Camaro in a music video. Full Doug personality profile. Based on the album list only, Doug is competitive, relatable, weird in the best way, faith-grounded, and confident. Final diagnosis. Doug Garrett's album list says, Doug is what happens when Metallica trains a car salesman. Hank Jr. teaches him how to talk to people. Mercy Me keeps him humble. Zeppelin gives him swagger. And Primus handles the customers with bad credit. Oh, man. Well, after seeing his music list, I understand why he's won Salesperson of the Month 24 months in a row over there at Russell Barnett Chevy. Guy's playlist is apparently a training manual, Chewy. Good job by him. So we mentioned the fact that the lists could have been a lot longer. What are some of the ones that like just missed for you that were just off the list?
For video games, Cyberpunk 2077 almost beat New Vegas.
Really?
Yeah.
So when that one came out, I know that there were a lot of people that were frustrated with it because it took a long time to develop and produce, and then when it came out, it was a little bit buggy. But there was so much to it. It was kind of like, well, yeah, you had to. I think once people dove into it and realized how much was really there, it was a little bit more understanding. They were a little bit more patient.
Well, I played on PC, so I never experienced
Oh,
all
really?
the bugs that
Okay.
everyone else was like.
Yeah.
Like PlayStation 4, especially, I
Yeah.
heard like really struggled. Now there were a lot of bugs,
Right.
but not.
Like people wanted their money back.
Oh yeah, like I wasn't there at all. Like I couldn't listen. I fell in love with the game in the first like 20 minutes, and to this day, one of the best made video games ever in history. Like it is what I would call an opus of the program of making video games.
Yeah.
Genuinely,
Really?
yeah,
I love it.
Storytelling, game mechanics, dialogue, art style, voice acting, cinematography in the game, adaptability, like literally the developers thinking of things that players would do and setting the game up for you to do those things, the questing, the lore, like everything about it was perfectly immersive in every which way. It was one of the greatest forays into video game ever. And it didn't make my list.
That's crazy.
Yeah.
So, well, and two, the idea was it's games that shaped you, right? Not necessarily games that you loved or anything like that.
That's why I picked New Vegas.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Like for me, the games that I've played the most throughout my, young adult up into adult ages have been the NCAA football and the Madden games, right? But those aren't the games early 90s Madden didn't shape who I was. Tecmo Super Bowl shaped my love for football, in a way. And so I think that it's interesting. What are some of the other well, and let me ask you this too. So you mentioned that you played it on PC. Have you always been more of a PC gamer kind of guy?
For the most part. When I was in middle school and parts of high school, I played on Xbox a lot, but I still always geared toward I've always had a PC that I played games on, But yes, if I had to pick, I would pick PC every time.
What is the reason behind that?
I just have more control over the game.
Yeah.
If like there's like a bug or something broken, I can get into the game and I can change settings and stuff like that. I can add mods if I want to add. If I want to remove a feature, add quality of life stuff.
Yeah.
It's just about the control.
Yeah.
When you play on the Xbox, it's just kind of you got to wait for the developer to maybe do something.
Right.
But with the PC, I have the option to keep expanding the game or, curating it to my own tastes.
That's
per
cool.
se. That's why I always pick PC. I don't
Yeah.
care about frame rates and graphics. I don't care about any of that.
Yeah.
I care about control.
Right.
Yeah.
Interesting. What are some of the other ones that just missed your list?
Oh man,
Maybe in some of the other categories.
I'll tell you in the books, The Hobbit almost made it. The Raven beat it out just a little bit because The Hobbit again came a little bit later. Chronicles of Narnia, The Lion, the Witch, and the Wardrobe. That was another one. Bridge to Terabithia in my movie category. Also Psycho, Blade Runner 2049, Metropolis from 1920 something, and then Mad Max Fury Road. All of those almost made the list.
Yeah.
My albums I actually struggled with the most because I don't remember a whole lot of albums that I remember. I remember specific songs off of albums.
Yeah.
But these were all the ones that I remember having on the computer.
There were a couple of albums and it's sent me down the road on Spotify the Ataris had a really strong album that honestly if I was to really reconsider any of I probably would let me see. I can't remember what the name. I think it was So Long Astoria maybe was the name of the album. Let me see. I'm pulling it up here. No, Takeoffs and Landings. It had So Long Astoria on it. But Takeoffs and Landings in 2003, I probably needed to be on my list because it was really the first album that introduced me more to pop punk.
Mm-hmm.
Blink 182 was a little, but Blink 182 wasn't really. It was kind of in that category before there was a category.
Yes.
It kind of stood on its own. When the Ataris came along, though, it set me down the road of the All American Rejects and
Green Day,
yeah,
Paramore, and all.
Yeah,
of them.
and I mean, Green Day has an album that is one of my favorite albums. But again, it's not just about which albums are your favorite; it's about the ones that impacted you. And I probably should have put the Takeoffs and Landings one on there above another album because looking back, it does seem to. It sent me in a certain direction, so it impacted me more. But it's interesting. It's an interesting practice, and it's an interesting look at, yourself in the mirror. We kind of started this whole thing as a joke, but it is shocking to hear chat take these points, right?
Oh, yeah.
And kind of explain to you what it says about your personality and how accurate it is. Things that it reveals about you that you're like, oh, I am like that.
Yeah, yeah.
And I didn't realize, maybe that's part of the reason why is because I listened to this album over and over and over again on repeat when I was 13 years old.
Yeah.
I don't know. Be careful what your kids listen to, I guess. Or what
Curated.
games they're playing. Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. If you want to make them into awesome individuals who, I don't know, win Salesperson of the Month 24 months in a row, maybe go and pull Doug Garrett's playlist.
He says Pearl Jam just barely missed his list.
Yeah. It's tough.
It really is so hard.
And if we made it the top 10, well, then we'd be like, we should make it 15 or 20.
Yeah,
You know?
yeah.
It would just go from there. But like I said, I think that it's fairly accurate. All right, let's get a break in here. When we come back, we will shift gears a little bit. I've got some other things that I want to get into. We appreciate you kind of going down that rabbit hole with us. I feel like we got to pull ourselves back out of Wonderland, though. on the other side when we come back, and we'll do that here on a Therapy Thursday here on the starting lineup. It is ESPN Radio 1340, 1069, WCDT Winchester.
Spring is in the air, and so are fresh new savings at Furniture Merchandise Outlet, FMO, right here in Tullahoma. Ready to refresh your space? From living rooms and bedrooms to dining sets and mattresses, FMO has the styles you want at prices you'll love. No long waits, no sticker shock. Just take it home today. Visit them at 105 North Jackson Street in Tullahoma or browse anytime at FMOTN.com. Furniture Merchandise Outlet, where spring cleaning turns into a spring upgrade.
Busy day? No time to feel sick? At Complete Express Care in Winchester, we know life moves fast. And so do we. With short wait times, skilled providers, and walk-in convenience, we make getting quality care easy. Whether it's the flu, a sprain, or a last-minute physical, we're here to help you get back to what matters most. Locally trusted, open daily, and ready to care for you. Complete Express Care, right here at 1211 Dinah Shore Boulevard in Winchester. Call 931-967-6669 today to learn more.
This is Daryl from Columbus, previously from the Paul Feinbaum Show. I like your show. I've been watching you for years. I like you, but I don't like you. I don't know you like Tennessee or Alabama. I don't know which one you like, but I know you don't like the Auburn Tigers, man.
Willie, thank you. I'm a little bit confused by liking me and not liking me, but you laid out your case very well.
The Paul Feinbaum Show, weekdays at 3 Eastern on the ESPN app and on the SEC network.
It's time for a local news break from the 931 Go News Center.
The Franklin County Sheriff's Office executed multiple search warrants on April 30th with assistance from the Coffee County Sheriff's Office, the Tennessee Bureau of Investigation, the Manchester Police Department, and the 12th Judicial Drug Task Force. During the first search, authorities seized approximately 1 ounce of a substance believed to be methamphetamine, 2 handguns, and drug paraphernalia. Arrested were Shireen Lachey Peoples, charged with felony possession of methamphetamine, simple possession of a Schedule II controlled substance, possession of a legend drug without prescription, and possession of drug paraphernalia. DeMarco LaShawn Peoples was charged with unlawful possession of a firearm. Gawain Lysandra Grimes was charged with possession of drug paraphernalia. Later that same day, a second search warrant was executed. Investigators seized approximately 1 ounce of a substance believed to be methamphetamine, 2 ounces of mushrooms, about 1.5 ounces of marijuana, and a Cadillac STS. Daniel Joe James was arrested and charged with manufacture, sale, or delivery of a Schedule I controlled substance, possession of a Schedule VI controlled substance with intent to distribute, felony possession of methamphetamine, and possession of drug paraphernalia. Separately, on May 4th, Herbert Eli Mays was indicted by a Franklin County grand jury and arrested on charges of sexual exploitation of a minor and solicitation of a minor. He remains in custody without bond, pending a May 15th court date. In other news, the Winchester Police Department has announced the annual Police and Firefighters Memorial Service will be held May 11th at 6 p.m. on the south lawn of Winchester City Hall. This year marks the 30th anniversary of the service. Tullahoma Fire Chief Kenneth Pearson will serve as the featured speaker. Attendees will also have the opportunity to honor loved ones with commemorative blue and red line flags. For more news and local updates, visit 931go.com. Stay informed and stay connected to your community with ESPN Radio Winchester.
When it comes to caring for your loved ones, choose a name you can trust. Inhabit Home Health in Winchester, located at 2068 Cowan Highway. We're here to provide compassionate professional care right in the comfort of your own home. From skilled nursing to therapy services, our team is dedicated to helping you or your loved ones achieve the best quality of life. Call Inhabit Home Health today at 931-967-0633 to learn more about our personalized care plans.
You're listening to the starting lineup, fueled by Loco Coffee, on ESPN Radio 1340, 1069. WCDT Winchester.
Back here on the starting lineup, ESPN Radio 1340, 1069 WCDT Winchester. Joe Abraham alongside Chewy as we have gone down the rabbit hole here on a Therapy Thursday. We're trying to come back from it. So, you know, Chewy, I am kind of surprised when we talk about your game choices that you know there's a couple like Tony Hawk and some of these other ones that
I wanted to put Morrowind, but
just like different-ish.
Yeah.
You know, so part of what I realized when I put these in was kind of like my movies, was that they were different types of and the breakdown even said it. It was like these are all very different. They've all got very different energy. And I didn't realize that I was doing that at the time, but they do kind of represent different perspectives in my mind. You know, how I attack different situations.
And also how those medians speak to you.
Right. It's a good point. Was FF7 on one of your lists?
No.
What is
Final Fantasy 7?
Oh, Final Fantasy 7. I thought it was like Fast and Furious 7.
Oh, it might be. I don't think so, but maybe.
Oh,
but I
gosh.
think Final Fantasy 7.
No.
I never really got into that version of like the team-based combat sort of thing. Tori liked Legend of the Dragoon, which was very Final Fantasy inspired.
I really never played any of those games. And honestly, you know what? I've never been really a big fan of like the Mortal Kombat style games, like the fighting
You've never
one-on-one.
Been a fighting game guy?
Not a fighter game guy.
Wow.
Yeah. I tried to get into it at one point in time. There was one Mortal Kombat game that I think I was in college, and it was a big deal, and it came out. And
I think it's probably MK9 if you were in college.
Yeah, and I tried to get into it, and I did a little bit, but I was never good enough with all of the different, remembering all the moves and how to do the things and stuff.
Dude, I still got mine like muscle memorized.
Right.
And
it just I couldn't really compete on a high level, and so I never really got into it.
My brother and I would like almost start swinging on each other because we would be so competitive about it. Like when we would do, and here's the thing, I
could see you guys throwing the controllers down and like trying to do the moves to each other in real life.
It got to the point to where we were like, when we would pick characters, we're like, fine, you can play that guy, but you can't teleport. You know what I mean? Because we would just use we would spam buttons if we started losing.
Yeah.
And so you got to that point, you know?
That was my problem, was that ultimately I would figure out one thing that worked, and I would just be like, okay, well, this works, so I'm just going to do this over and over and over, and I would just spam the crap on it.
But William and I were so, first off, I'm going to let my ego show here. I'm so freaking good at Mortal Kombat. It's actually not fun to play with me. But here's the thing. William is almost as good as me. And I mean, to the point to where if we're going 10 rounds, he's probably winning about 4. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
And I mean, he's that close, and that's what frustrates him so much is that he's so good, but I'm just a little bit better than him.
Yeah, that's the big brother. That's the whole big brother thing.
Yeah.
My brothers are the same way. And now Tommy can beat me at a lot of stuff. But ultimately, there are some things that he still looks at me and he's like, "Man, like I am." They call me. Some of them still call me senpai, which I don't know what that means, but I know it's it's like
master.
Yeah, it's like a reverence thing.
Yeah,
and,
teacher.
Yeah, and they look at me and they're like, still. Oh, you know what it was the other day? So I went golfing. I've been golfing twice in probably the last 5 years. Now, long story to this, but let's just say I didn't have my golf clubs for 3 years. And then I finally got them back, and I've only gone a couple of times, and I haven't gone in over a year. So this past week we played in this golf tournament, right? A scramble, and they're like, "You're not even gonna practice or anything." They all went out. They went out, and in the morning of the tournament, they were on the range for 3 hours. Some of them were. They went the few days before. They went and played the course and all these things. And they're like, "Joe, are you gonna come out and practice, knock the rust off and stuff like that?" I'm like, "No, I don't. I really don't have time. I'm good." And so we step up to the first tee box, and they all go. John rips one off the tee into the woods. My father skulls. Well, actually, my father hit a pretty good one off the tee. Tommy skulls, just snap hooks one into, and I step up and just absolutely hammer the ball right down the middle of the fairway. And they're like, "What the hell?" And there's this like level of mythology sometimes when you're big brother. It's just they look up to you, and you've gotta come through. You know, if you didn't beat him in that way, then when life gets hard, he wouldn't have you to turn to. Now you're there for him because you kicked the crap out of him in like Mortal Kombat and stuff. You know, he's always got to have somebody to look up to. When you lose, and two, as the older brother, I haven't gone through this. You haven't gone through this yet, but you know, someday when we lose our fathers,
oh man, yeah,
like that weight is handed down to us, right?
No,
They've got
the lighthouse keeper.
I know. Yeah. And so I think that it's important that every once in a while, if you've got little brothers, every once in a while,
don't let them get too comfortable.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Don't let them get too big for their britches. It doesn't have to be all the time. You know, you want to lift them up. You want to lift them up as a leader, as a human being, as a sibling. You know, you want to lift the people up around you, and encourage. I tell Jack this all the time. You want to bring them up and raise them up, but every once in a while, you need to take their face and shove it in the mud and let them know who the boss is. I still remember I was 13 or 14 years old, and I was giving my father a hard time, right? I'm a 14-year-old Italian boy filled with testosterone. Now, my father has been, you know, a pretty big guy for most of his life, and he was having health issues at the time, couldn't do anything. I was out of control. Not in a you know, dyeing my hair black and wearing eyeliner kind of out of control, or you know, leaving the house and not coming back for 3 days type of out of control, but from an emotional standpoint. And so my grandfather came over one day, and he's like, so I heard that you, and he comes right up to me, and he's like, I heard that you have been giving your father a hard time, and you think you can take him and things like that. And I'm like, yeah, I mean, I'm getting pretty, you know, I was feeling pretty good about myself. My grandfather then proceeded to say, well, let's go outside, and if you think that you can take him, then you certainly think that you can take me, right? And I'm like, yeah, probably. And he's like, let's go outside and let's just see what you got. And I'm like, okay, let's do this. So we go outside, and he proceeds to defeat me in a wrestling match using only his head.
Jesus.
Yes. Now, this is a technique that I have since learned and used upon my own children where they think that, like, Jack, you know, he's 12, 13 years old now. He's a big kid, and he thinks that he got a little something going on.
Mm-hmm.
And my grandfather literally did not use his arms, using only his head, was able to pin me to the ground by my head using his head.
So,
which means that somehow he got me on the ground, leveraged his body, and did not put his hands on me at all. Only used his head.
That's impressive.
Yeah. So just every once in a while, you gotta enforce dominance over you know, the ones around. But you want to lift them up for the most part. You know, you want to make them feel capable for the most part.
Can I tell you the most demoralizing part for the boy though is he would play it without me and like practice and practice and practice.
Yeah.
For like a year.
Yeah.
And then he'd be like, "Hey, you want to play some Mortal Kombat?"
Yeah.
And I'd be like, "Yeah, I'll play some Mortal Kombat." And he goes, "When's the last time you played?" I said, "I guess the last time we played." and you know, he goes, "Really?
Yeah.
Interesting."
Yeah.
And then I would just mop the floor with him, like embarrassingly mop the floor with him.
So, and Tommy's figured that out. So Tommy, for a while, when it came to golf, he got to that point where he was practicing all the time. He picked up golf later in life. I started playing when I was like 6 or 7 years old. So
Okay, see, that was the same with me in Mortal Kombat. Yeah.
So for me, it's kind of like it's like riding a bike, right?
Yeah.
For him, he goes out there and he practices and he practices and he practices. He wears a face off his clubs, right? And he's at the range, and man, he takes it so seriously. And he's like, okay, let's go play golf. When's the last time you played? I don't know. I can't remember, man. Probably the last time we played. You know, I say the same thing to probably the last time we played. And even this week, it was his birthday this week. He said, the only thing I want is for us to go play golf. And what he can't understand is how I can step up on the tee box, and he's got He's got new equipment. My clubs are like 15 years old. My bag was literally falling apart. I had to ask my dad, you got any extra bags laying around? He like handed me down his 10-year-old Alabama Crimson Tide golf bag, and it being 10 years old and falling apart was better than my 15-year-old falling apart golf bag. And so we get out, and he just can't understand why we are still right there neck and neck. And no matter how hard he tries, no matter how much he practices, he can't get it over on me. And you know, it just is what it is. I can't allow it. You know, it doesn't matter how much better than me he actually is, probably at this point.
Oh, yeah. Like, William far surpasses me, technically.
Well, what pissed him off the other day was, even from a driving standpoint, so he's bigger than me, he's stronger than me, he's got newer clubs than me, and we go out there and we're playing a scramble, right? So it's just haul off and hit the ball as far as you can. Once we get one in play, right, it's just try and hit the absolute piss out of the ball. And and he can't understand why I'm out driving him still. 38 years old, falling apart. He's 29. He's in the prime of his, you know, not prime. He hasn't had the whole testosterone downhill turn yet.
Right.
But yeah, man, sometimes you just gotta put a little extra juice in it to show little brother that you're still big brother.
Yeah.
Now, I can't do that all day long. There was one hole that he must have hit the ball 340, and I was like, yeah, I can't hit the ball that far. I don't even know I'm trying. But every once in a while. Brett says, what was the game that had the clay type characters? I used to love that one. Clay type characters.
Are you thinking of the original Fallout? The old Fallout 1 and 2 in the 90s? They had claymation figures when they were talking, like the talking heads. That's what they were known for.
I don't know.
Both very good games.
Kevin Simmons says 4.
We still haven't gone to Tim's 4. I want to try golfing really bad. I want to see how, if I can just hit the heck out of a ball. You know what I mean?
Your arms are so long. I think that you could get the whole trebuchet thing going on. I bet you could hit the. Yeah, you're probably like. What if he was like, guys? What if he was like a Happy Gilmore? What if it was
What's that supposed to mean?
Chewy Gilmore? Have you seen those Happy Gilmore movies?
Yeah. Man, if that was my secret talent, I'd be so pissed off. I'd be like, really? This is my calling.
What if? And that would be frustrating if you found out your secret talent when you were like over the hill, over your prime of it, right? Like, what if in 5 or 10 years, you know, I find some secret hidden talent, or you find some secret hidden talent, and you're like, man, if I had known this 10 years ago, I'd be a millionaire by now.
Yeah, if I knew I could do that when I was 22.
Yeah,
you know.
Somebody just texted me, said, when are you live on the air this morning?
Right now. Brett Crabtree says, no, it was a fighting game like Mortal Kombat. I have no idea.
Clay game.
Yeah, I've never heard of one that looks like clay.
I don't know.
I remember they used to do the GIFs for Mortal Kombat, you know?
Brett, I do know about what was the show that we just were talking about 2 weeks ago.
Oh, yeah.
Celebrity Deathmatch.
Celebrity Deathmatch,
But was that a game?
I don't think so. Not that I remember.
I don't know if Celebrity Deathmatch made a game. It was a fighting game like Mortal Kombat. I don't know. All right, so, yeah, if anybody wants to check out, you know, Chewy over at Tim's 4 and see if he's got a hidden talent with us, we might have to do that.
Oh, here you go. Clay Fighter? Is that what it was?
Clay Fighter? I've literally never heard of that game.
It was originally released on Super Nintendo in 1993, and it was by Interplay. So those are the guys who made Fallout.
Okay.
And
that would track with Brett as far as from an age standpoint.
Using stop-motion animation to create a distinct visual fighting style.
I'll have to look that up. That's before my time, really.
Yeah, that's
and
pretty
I never.
Awesome, though.
I said this the other day. I never had a Super Nintendo. I just had the regular Nintendo, the gray box, rectangle-looking one. I didn't get round edges. Like, I wasn't advanced enough to get like curved edges on my game system.
You're more of a hard edge kind of guy.
Yeah.
Anyway.
Yeah. All right. So Starry Night is tonight. Don't forget about that. Let me see. I can't even remember Winchester downtown. I got to check and see who is tonight. Do you know who's tonight, Chewy?
I do know it's at the Kiwanis stage next to the Oldham. It is at 6 p.m. Starry Night's got some more live music headed your way, and I will look up.
Let me see here.
The difference.
The difference, which not spelled E-N-C-E. It's different with a T.
Yeah, like different people.
The difference. So that's tonight at 6 p.m. You've got we got to get out there and check that out. This is something that the downtown program is trying to give us things like this to do. Ricky says it's Mike Rudder and his gang. This is something that the downtown program is putting on for us. They're trying to get this thing going, and the more we show up and the more we participate in these types of things, the more chance that they are likely to keep them going.
Mm-hmm.
I have unfortunately not had a chance to make it out to one of these events because literally we have had a game every Thursday night for the last 4 or 5 weeks, and same is the situation tonight. There's a softball game tonight, extremely important one over at Franklin County High School. They are hosting Tullahoma, and yeah, so I'm going to be calling that one tonight. There are a lot of things going on right now. I understand it. You've also got the I'm literally getting blown up right now. They've also got the Tennessee 250 over at the stadium on the boulevard, and hopefully the rain clears out for all of this stuff. But I recommend that you find something to do. Participate in at least one, if not multiple, of these things that are going on in and around town.
And both are free, by the way.
Yeah.
So you can go to both of these without a ticket or anything like that. You can just go and watch these things. The Kiwanis stage is right there next to the Oldham. The atmosphere is just amazing. The weather is beautiful, like the temperature-wise. And the Oldham actually blocks the sun, so you're not like getting cooked by the sun the whole time, too. But it's still bright enough to see everything outside. And bring yourself a lawn chair and just pull up to the Kiwanis stage. It's a good night.
Kelly Kennedy is actually texting me right now. So this is interesting because we may have an update as far as the game is concerned with the weather. So just stick to. I don't know if they would move it or if that's what this is about or what. But we're gonna keep it here until she texts me back in case she needed to make some sort of announcement. Let's see. Yeah, Starry Nights, The Difference, 6 p.m., Mike Rudder. We've added some nice shrubs. Oh, they got the shrubs in the trees.
I did. I saw it this morning.
And over by the amphitheater.
Yeah, it's awesome.
Oh, man.
That whole area
cool.
is very cool.
Yeah.
And stick around there. It'll be only going to get better from here.
Some of the things that we didn't really get into this morning on the show, the Braves, Chewy, they have started the season with a league best 26-12 record. However, the Seattle Mariners just handed them their first series loss of the season. They are the last team in Major League Baseball to lose a series. Last team in Major League Baseball. Okay, hold on. Let me read this from Kelly Kennedy. I just put her name into one word.
Yeah.
Kelledy. Odd request for me, she says. Okay. The softball team is in need of old furniture cushions today by 12 p.m. If you have old couch cushions, please drop them at the field house by 12 p.m. Please note, we are not asking for couches, just the cushions. Okay.
All right.
So if you have old furniture cushions, the softball team needs them. I'm not sure if they're building a fort.
Sounds interesting.
I have no idea what this is.
I couldn't imagine what it's for, but okay.
Yeah, I can't imagine what it would be for. But if you have any old cushions, furniture cushions, the softball team is in need of them. So, yeah, help them out if you can. Listen, maybe it's a part of trying to break the curse. We talked about that as well.
Maybe they're all working on something behind the scenes. We'll see.
And the Tullahoma baseball team cracked that curse against the the Wildcats baseball team this past weekend. It has been since 2021 since the Rebelettes softball team has beaten the Tullahoma Lady Cats in softball. It's been I think it's been 10 straight games. And Tullahoma has, the team up north, has ended our season in softball, Chewy, the last 2 years. So we're trying to avoid allowing them to end our season for 3 years straight now and break a 5-year, 10-game losing streak against the team up north.
Interesting.
Yeah, all of that today. And we will have the game live right here on ESPN Radio Winchester.
Let's see. Kevin Simmons did jump in here. One last second. Says, the golf story reminds me of my son-in-law. He could never beat me at golf. He always had the newest clubs and stuff. And I told him, you drive for show and putt for dough.
Yeah, you do. Yeah, you do.
Very cool.
And that's kind of where my father's to that point. I remember chasing my father off the tee when I was little, and then I passed him around 12, 13 years old, which is probably why I got that attitude with my grandfather. And I started being able to hit the ball. He could always hit it about 250. And I started being able to hit it like 300.
Nice.
And when you blow it by your old man, you get it, all of a sudden. But he could always still beat me. But nowadays, he's so short off the tee. I mean, I could hit like a pitching wedge to where his driver is. Poor guy. But around the green, guy's money. He can still chip and putt like nobody's business. And I don't know. I think the last time he and I played, I smoked him pretty good. I don't think that he can keep up anymore. But yeah, Tommy and I are pretty well matched, pretty evenly matched. And it's funny because he works so hard in it. little brother works so hard in it.
Diabolical.
All right, that'll do it for today's show. It was a good Therapy Thursday. I feel like it was very therapeutic for Chewy and I. I don't know if it was entertaining to you guys, but I enjoyed it. We'll be back tomorrow for a What the Florida Friday with Sammy D in studio. Again, go out, do me a favor, participate in one of these things that are going on in and around town today. And you'll feel more involved. You'll feel better about it, and I will appreciate it, certainly.
All right.
All righty. Coming up next is Reliable Rentals Swap and Shop with Chubert right here on ESPN Radio, 1340, 1069, WCDT Winchester.
A lot of people expected. Game featured 25 lead changes, the most in a playoff game in 11 years, 14 ties, and neither team